you probably sit at a desk or sit for enough hours of the day where this video is going to be super beneficial for you. But without me even diving into all the scientific research that I've done, we know that sitting, especially at a desk most of the day, just like wrecks our body. I want to back up those claims with some science and then show you how to fix it in just a few minutes every few days. Start with the facts. Plus One looked at 600,000 adults who sat around 8 to 10 hours a day and had a 34% higher risk of dying from all causes. And US adults spend 70% of their waking hours in a day sitting. And gym sessions are just not canceling these out. Research in these studies are showing that us humans need 15 to 30 minutes of extra love on specific movement patterns to offset the negatives that are coming from sitting. Chest and shoulders get tight from just hunching over, but also the hips. When we're sitting in a chair, our legs are literally locked into that 90-degree measurement, which means our hamstrings are supposed to be out here. They're getting shortened right here. Our hip flexors are supposed to be open. They're getting shortened right here, and it's affecting our knees, our hips, our lower back, and our lifespan. So this is a super important video, but I'm going to make sure you leave it knowing how to fix it super easily. Because if you don't fix it, it compounds every single day. Meaning it's not just gonna stay at this uncomfortable or this is the worst pain it's gonna be. It's going to get worse progressively every single day that you don't do something about it. So watch this and do something about it today. First thing we have to do is address the hip flexors directly. So you can just, if you have a couch, take one of the pillows, put it on the ground, and then pop your leg up and drop that knee and try and get the knee as close to the couch as you can. And then just keep a tall, broad chest. And you're gonna feel a stretch in the upper quad, your upper thigh. And the most important thing is your hip flexors. So we're trying to keep our chest tall and drive the hips forward. We have to address the hip flexors first because everything else is downstream. From our back pain, knee pain, posture, it all starts in the hips. And the longer that we sit, the tighter that this muscle gets. And it doesn't allow our, pelvis to fully get the range of motion that it needs. So when we're sitting and this is not getting the opposite of that rotation, our lower back arches excessively and our glutes tuck under. It literally turns off our glutes, which are the most powerful muscle we have, especially in reducing knee and back pain. So doing this a few times a week, I usually do 30 to 60 seconds when I'm doing this exercise on each side for about 3 sets. Don't need a gym, just need something to prop your leg up on and something for comfort under the kneecap. A second great hip exercise is one that I did at the gym. I don't even have a name for this exercise, but I posted it on Instagram and it's my most viewed video, got almost 100,000 views. And I think it's because it looks easy, it is to do, and it has great benefit in really opening up the hips. It works a lot of the outside of your hip, your abductors, and just loosening up a different part of your hips. You should feel it in your hips and not your lower back, but a little stretch in the lower back is not going to cause any type of long-term problem. It's actually probably going to help you more than anything. Just prop a leg up, and then I do about 8 to 10 reps of coming all the way to the top and then reaching as far as I can down before my hip mobility stops me. And you will feel this if you're wearing jeans, the back pocket is where this is going to really be feeling. And it's just something that probably you watching this don't do a lot, and I try and do this as much as possible. Doing it a few times a week at least, just supersetting it with something is an easy way to work on the hips and get a great workout in. Another major important thing is our thoracic spine. So when you're looking at your back, your neck, you have your cervical spine, you have your thoracic spine in the middle, and then you have your lumbar spine on the bottom. When we are hunched over at our desk and not really moving side to side, we're just focusing on looking forward, we lose that twisting ability and our spine gets tight, especially the part that's supposed to be able to twist, our thoracic spine. And when it's not used to twisting and the vertebrae gets stiff, it then is forcing your lumbar spine to take on that twisting, which it's not supposed to do. And so it puts it in an uncomfortable position. I got this PVC pipe. I basically just walked into Home Depot, put a pipe up and was like, can you cut it to this height? And they do it right there. And this was maybe $5, $10. And what I do with this and just pop it over my shoulders like a squat bar. And you just can kind of lean to side to work on those joints in the hips. And also, I like to get that twisting motion back. Just have a nice soft bending knees, and you're just gonna rotate side to side. And if you don't wanna go to Home Depot and get something like this, you can probably use a broom at your house, or there is something that they have usually at the gyms called the sticks, which I'll show you in a second. But I just like to try and get full range of motion, reach as far as I can on each side, and I do about 10 reps and 3 sets. Another thing that you can do with this for the shoulders as well as an easy superset is just bring it over and backs, just call these shoulder swings. So you can use a band with this as well, but if you already have the pole out, might as well double down and just do 10 reps as this as well. And prolonged sitting does a number on the knees. Sitting with your knees bent at 90 degrees for hours shortens the hamstrings, weakens your VMO, that teardrop-shaped quad muscle on the inside of your knee, and reduces the patellar tracking, so your kneecap, how it's tracking and supposed to be working. It kind of veers off the more we are sitting, and that is why desk workers get achy knees when they stand up and walk, especially on stairs. And I do 2 things for this. The terminal knee extension with the band targets at least 15 degrees of the knee extension, the range that is most critical for proper quad activation and patellar tracking. And I just do about 10 reps to 15 reps each leg, just trying to keep the back of the heel down on the ground the entire time. So letting it pull the knee forward and then fully squeezing the quad at the top of every rep to finish it. The other exercise is going to be Spanish squats. Spanish squats address these problems directly. The band behind the knees creates an external resistance that forces the knees to track properly and loads the VMO, that teardrop muscle in your quad, without anterior knee stress. The farther back that I sit, starting off, if you're close to it, it feels like you're gonna fall down. But if you sit backwards, there's gonna be enough resistance pulling you forward where you're actually not gonna fall. And it also allows you to get a deep squat. And if you have limited mobility in your ankles or in your hips, this will allow you to get a full range of motion squat. Next is going to be working on the shoulder rotation, which is critical for desk workers. When you sit at a desk, your shoulders roll forward, your pec shortens, your anterior delts tighten, the rotator cuff, the group of 4 small muscles responsible for shoulder stability and rotation, they weaken because they are not used. And this matters because internally rotated shoulder position increases where you get impingements or little clicking and those nasty little spots. And so I usually do 10 to 15 reps of internal, external rotation, like you just saw on the bands, and then also pairing that with some strengthening using cable chest flies. And a weak chest that is tight is a different problem than a strong chest with full mobility. So we want to make sure not only we're loosening, but we are also strengthening. And look, you're probably not going to stop sitting at a desk, but you don't have to let years of your life strip away and feel like you're 80 when you're only 30 or 40. I do this for a living, and I love researching these papers and trying to explain it into everyday terms and show actionable fixes that you can make to live longer and live healthier in the years that we have on this beautiful earth. So I put a free PDF in the description below. Just click the link and just type in your name, email, and then boom, it'll be sent to you. It has probably 100 or so exercises with videos all listed out in a neat order. So it's just like, hey, over the next 3 days, I really want to supercharge on feeling my best self. That is literally what this is called. It's called the 72-hour body reset. And it's just basically morning, afternoon, evening, how I would make a couple critiques and changes to what we're doing. And those will snowball into greater long-lasting effects. Again, free in the description below. If this video helped you, I'd appreciate a like, subscribe, maybe comment what you're going to be doing to add or try some of these things in to your daily life. That's it for today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.